So that is the call of the field goal going through, sailing through, punctuating another devastating, heartbreaking loss for the New York Giants. Historic loss. We'll get into that point. We are the Three Angry Giant Fans of the Jet Fan Podcast. It's your host, Scott, Giant Mike, Cardone, and Jet Fan Novak. And guys, the, uh, I was at a loss of words at the end of that game. Um, Again, a game you should never lose, a game that well coached you will never lose, and a game that I'm frankly I'm pissed off coming out here on a Monday night, not seeing any changes happening from a coaching standpoint, which I think is ridiculous.
We haven't seen a change in a kicking situation, which might be the most ridiculous thing because that's the easiest thing to do.
I'll tell you this about the kicking situation, though. For fuck's sake, we got Yingwei Ku on the roster, and we're sticking with our foreign national player that has an exempt status. It's like, for fuck's sake, you can't find a guy who has any type of historical data in the NFL. You don't have a proven kicker you can't sign. They're hanging out there. Greg Joseph, for Christ's sake, is still out there.
Scott, he was 6 of 10 at Chowan University in 2022. I mean, why wouldn't you have him out there? The guy is money.
Chowan. And then he went to Rutgers, for fuck's sake.
And he was 12 for 18 in his senior year. That screams NFL.
I don't know if you guys remember, but during our text thread, but right as the fourth quarter was starting, but bear in mind, of course, we all know we had a 19 fucking point lead. I said, I will watch this fourth quarter in just fear and anxiety. I don't know if you guys remember like reading that one, but because you just, with this team and this league, you just know that the game is going to get it's just going to come down to, it's just going to come down to the wire. And it's this one, guys. What's amazing about this game, we just did this a month ago with the Dallas Cowboy game. We just went through this.
Same thing.
We just had this kind of loss where you can't even put it into comprehension. You can't put it into words. You can't break down X's and O's. You can't. And every time I think I can't get any more devastated or shriveled or reduced to sawdust, they still somehow this New York Giants team just somehow stomps on. Now I'm now vaporized into thin air. There's nothing left. And this is a very anticipated pod. I can tell you that right now from like friends and family and people that want, the pod's going to be great. I said, you know what? And for all our listeners, and I'm going to do my best tonight to try to get through this emotionally because it's still only been 24 hours and it's still raw. I'm just crushed right now. Like for people like this, this isn't my job. I don't do this for a living. I don't get paid to do this. Like I'm not Sal and BT coming on like WFAN and doing this. This isn't my fucking job. Like I'm just a fan. You know what I mean? Like I'm a fan. Like, and I'm just a devastated and crushed fan right now that I don't know how to put into words how to talk about this game. I just don't, guys. We just did this. And we've been doing it now year after year. This team finds the most excruciating ways to lose football games. I'll pause there, guys.
No, you don't have to pause there. I'm going to talk about this later. It's all on coaching, and we'll get back to that. Let me do a shout out first because I know we're going to get into this, Cardone. So I'm glad you set that up because it's exactly the way we need to talk about this game. But this is one that Lloyd Lindsey Young would have probably called out. So, hello, Parsippany, New Jersey.
Yes.
It's a population 23,000. Parsippany comes from a Native American word, Parsippenong, which means place where river winds through the valley. It is where the Rockaway River and the Whippany River meet. And Cardone, Mike, Novak, in the Seinfeld episode, The Mom and Pop Store,
yes,
Jerry loses his shoes, and he finds out that they ended up in a garage sale in Parsippany.
Parsippany. Correct.
Mom and Pop's plan was to establish her business for 48 plus years. Remember Elaine's recap? And then take off with Jerry's sneakers.
Take off with Jerry's shoes.
And Kramer's like, evidently.
Playing the long game.
So
Parsippany was one of those. Cardone and I grew up in New Jersey. It was one of those areas where
Yeah.
you just don't know quite where it was.
No.
Parsippany, Whippany, New Brunswick. It's sort of like
Yes.
this like weird part of the state where it wasn't really defined or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was
Great
it New
place, great
Brunswick
town.
where
I've been there. It's awesome, but
wasn't New Brunswick where Rutgers was though?
it is.
Well, Piscataway, I think.
Piscataway.
Right.
Ah,
There's
Piscataway.
there's multiple campuses, but
There are.
Piscataway and Parsippany were always like confusing. The two
Yes,
of them,
but
which one
same.
was which? Yeah,
Yes.
where was which one? Yep.
So guys, we're going to get into this. Cardone already had a bunch of fervor on this, but historic loss. I mean, it's another in a string. Teams were 1,602-0 when losing by 18 or more points, with less than 6 minutes left, and now it's 1,602-1. So yet another devastating record. And put that aside. For me, it's time to clean slate. I mean, these are coaching errors. When you can't close out a game in the fourth quarter, when you can't come up with a way to clean out the clock, that to me is on Dable. We could talk about Bowen too, because Bowen and that soft ass 3-man rush when you need to get a first down or a field goal. He did the same fucking thing in the Dallas game. So for me, guys, clock management failure, situational awareness failure, a roster management failure. We had a kicker on the roster from Rutgers, a foreign exempt player, instead of having a proven kicker. And it's a failure to learn from past mistakes. We saw this, like you said, Cardone, in Dallas. And yet we still fucking played a 3-man rush to let them get 30 yards to get in field goal range. That's coaching. That is coaching. That is not the Giants team losing. They played a fucking hell of a game. Jackson Dart threw his heart on the line. Those players threw their heart on the line. Brian Burns played a hell of a game, and Brian Burns at the last, when you could make an impact at the end and force a team to make fast throws to get to the outside or whatever, he wasn't even there. It was a 3-man rush. What the fuck are we doing?
Guys, I'll have to apologize up front tonight. I'm not feeling very jovial. I'm not. I know I'm not going to have my A game tonight. It's too raw. It's too
almost
soon.
impossible to, man. It just is.
And so I'll do the best I can with this. But this is everything Scott just said, of course, is spot on correct. It's unconscionable that you could lose games like this. And not just this one, but you just go back a few weeks in Dallas. And how many teams in the NFL don't learn a lesson like we learned from Washington last year when we had a massive roster fuck up and didn't have an available kicker for a football game? How do teams... So we played 17 games last year and now 7 into this year. So I'm no mathematician, but that's 24 games. We've lost 3 of 24 because of a kicker situation, guys.
That's not,
And we're going to get a question later. I don't know if it's Dable or Shane, but the thing it still remains. Why the fuck do we have a foreign exempt kicker on the roster instead of a proven NFL kicker?
There's absolutely no explanation, no reasoning, no logic, no anything for that. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I really don't even know who he is. And he's costing me games, and he's losing us games. I had this conversation today where, and people are going to say, I know they mean well, but like, well, the silver lining is, you've got your quarterback or you got a good rookie class. Is that, you know what? We established that in the fucking preseason with Dart. I was one of the guys who said, let's start Wilson to start the season. And it doesn't matter now. We're in week 8, going into week 8. The fact is, it's not like we already know this now. Dart and Scatterbo and like Abdul Carter and like, we have a talented roster right now. And we have our quarterback. We found the guy. We've got him. He doesn't need to so my point is why after that loss coupled with, and then throw in the Dallas loss and throw in even the New Orleans loss, because that was another game you had an 11-point lead against a bad team, and we cannot, for the life of us, bad teams lose games like that because they, again, clock management, coaching decisions, you name it. But my point is like, why do I have to wait till next year or the year after? Why can't I win now? The Washington last year threw out Jaden Daniels, a rookie quarterback. They went to the fucking championship game last year. Who was predicting that? Well, why can't that be the New York Giants this year, being in the playoff mix and winning games? They hang on to win that game yesterday, and they're now 3-4, and we are jacked up going against a Philadelphia Eagle team, which we just beat soundly a week ago, and they're not playing their best football. At least it gives you something. I was trying to explain to friends and coworkers, it's not really that game yesterday, the result, it just goes in the L column. And what it does, though, it ends our season. The season's over, guys. You don't recover from this. Now you got to worry about this team spiraling into a mental breakdown where the coach loses everybody, the team, the morale just disappears. Everything can fall apart. Just like a win can elevate your confidence and status, because let me tell you, they went into that game with a confident football team. You saw it. 10 days removed from the Eagle win, that team was jacked up. They were playing both sides of the ball. That team, how you lost that game is absolutely, it's maniacal, guys. It's maniacal. It really is.
The series of events that had to transpire and go wrong and has to happen. If you had said it 25-8 with 6 minutes left, if you gave a list, here's 20 things that must go wrong in order for them to lose this game, from clock management to defensive schemes to poor play calling to kicking game to roster management, no matter what the scenario, all 20 of them would have had to have gone wrong, and they did. Every single one. One after another, after another, after another.
But Novak, excellent point, because I was going to make mention of that too. But yet, and somehow, this is the first time that has happened.
No, this is game against 2 years ago.
I can't even keep track of them anymore.
We got to clean house because, you think about it, Cardone, like you said, this isn't the first time. It's not the second time. It's not the third time. We're wasting Dart. We're wasting Scatabo. We're wasting Carter. We're wasting Burns. We're wasting Neighbors with a coaching staff that can't, sustain a winning tradition.
My only issue with that is, you can fire the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator and blame them. The buck stops with the head coach.
I think we need to clean house. Yeah.
But on that 3rd and 5 call where Dart threw a pass, are you out of your mind? What are you doing? You could have knelt down. The Broncos would have had to burn their timeout. Now they're out of timeouts. You punt. You're still up 10 points. Game's over.
You're up 10 points with 5 minutes to go.
Even if it was an incomplete pass, that was a bad call. Interception exacerbated it, but an incomplete pass is stupid. All you do is run the ball. That's it. And
That's
punt.
all you had to do. Yep.
I told you guys, with 6 minutes left, I turned it off. I was like, I got my daughter's home. I'm going to focus on her. I come back. They lost. What? I couldn't believe it.
You go back to the Eagles game, which we held on and won. But Dable tried to choke that thing away with a 10-point lead. He has no idea how to coach with a lead. He doesn't have a clue. And we don't know the inner workings of, did the Giants have a timeout when they came out after the field goal?
Yes.
After they kicked the field goal to take the lead.
Yes.
And the Broncos had
one
the ball.
timeout left.
So, Dable's kind of lighting up Bowen after the game. Well, fuck, Dable. You saw 3 down linemen when they trotted out there. Call a fucking timeout.
Yeah.
And go over
100%.
to Bowen and go, what the fuck are you doing? Get Burns on the line of scrimmage. Get Thibodeau on the line of scrimmage. Are you nuts right now? Not to mention, Novak mentioned it. I've got a list here of things that had to go exactly right for the Broncos. And every one of them did. I can get into that later. But one of them on this list is that pass by Nix sailed. And there happened to be a guy standing. There wasn't even the guy he was throwing the ball to. Why is that not intercepted and run the other way by the Giants? It goes to a guy falling down on the ground with an orange jersey on. Get the fuck out of here.
How about tipping it? You don't need to intercept it. Tip it. knock it away.
The ball is not going to the guy who caught it.
It was the exact, a little bit longer. This one was for 29 yards on first, 29 yards over the middle of. It was the exact same play we saw against the Dallas Cowboys. It was the same exact fucking thing. It's maddening. As soon as that ball's complete, I don't care. Like the game, like the game, like it's over.
Yeah,
it's over. Like you're not stopping them at that point. And they were still only on the 48-yard line. But I'm like, as soon as the game's over, man, they're gonna kick and every one of those. It's unbelievable. I'm reliving these plays in my head, guys. I couldn't sleep last night. I woke up in the middle of the night. I couldn't fall back to sleep. The game was in my head all day today. I couldn't get rid of it. Because again, it's a season-ending loss for what reason and how?
How?
And you're right, Cardone, when you said that. And I was one of the people that texted about the silver lining. I was trying to make you guys feel better. But you know what? You're 100% right. You should not have to win despite your coach.
No, I know,
because
and like I said,
you're not going anywhere with a great quarterback and a shitty coach. You're not.
Nope.
A lot of it doesn't. Again, a lot. Yes, a lot of messages, a lot of texts. People, and everyone is, just like you said, trying to just, hey man, hey guys, like make you feel better than that. But as you guys know, Novak, as well too. Like these kinds of loss, that kind of loss, which we've had countless ones now. There is no. You can't. Don't try to console me. Don't try to make me feel better. Don't try to. And I'm not being a dick about this. I'm really not. I'm just saying, like, it's not possible. First of all, and it's not. It's first of all, it's not necessary because we'll get over it. I'll get over it. I'll go on. It's, you know what I mean? Like but at the moment, it's like, don't even, please, just don't even, just knock it off. It's not, it's just not.
Literally, the title of my pet peeve tonight, Cardone, was "Don't try to console me." So yeah. I guess.
I didn't know that, Mike. I'm not trying to steal. No, I figured. Listen, a game like that, we're gonna be stomping all over our peeves and our thought. We're gonna be stealing thoughts from each other throughout the night, and I can't even wait to get to Fields and the Jets too, Novak. So I'll have plenty of energy and fervor to talk about that chop. So don't worry, I'm not gonna blow my load here on the Giants because I'll have plenty to go with the Jets too. My God.
Let me roll down this list that I made of things that had to go exactly wrong for the Giants and right for the Broncos, right? So, and I'm sure there's ones I missed. I literally made this off the top of my head 5 minutes before we got on. So, before the Broncos deflection touchdown, which would have been on this list if we didn't then get one back. So I erased both of those. I took them out of my memory. But so the Giants, I don't know who he was. He was the defensive end on that time. He misses an interception pretty much exactly like the one the Broncos got from Dart. That interception ends the game. As Novak mentioned earlier, I mean, if Dart doesn't throw that interception, if that ball just harmlessly hits the ground, the Giants probably win that game. Or better yet, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw who he was throwing to back there. It was Theo Johnson again, and he was wide ass open. I mean, if Dart could have got that ball over that guy's head, we might. Whatever. I don't know if you guys saw on the, I think it was the second to last Broncos touchdown, Evan Ingram holding the Giant guy out of bounds. Yeah. At the goal line, just not letting him get into the field to play to make the tackle, which he absolutely would have done. And the camera's he's right in the middle.
It was a steal.
The officials in there.
It was a steal out block.
They kept calling it a steal out. But he's holding him with both hands. Yeah. Of course, the first mixed extra point. Then Dable going for two and chasing the points instead of just kicking another extra point. Then the second missed extra point, which was huge. Peyton going for two times that were both too early, and the motherfucker gets them. Just give us a break on that shit, by the way. That they were both too early to go for two. Of course, if we don't drop, you'll never convince me that if we don't drop 8 on that second to last play, we are talking about a win right now, and we're sitting here making jokes and woo, that was a close one, but no, can't be that way. I've already mentioned the ball that was overthrown by Nix, but caught by some random guy who was running a clear out behind it anyway. And then Dart scoring on first and goal instead of second and goal or third and goal, which had that happened, that probably would at the end of the game too. That's stuff I came up with off the top of my head in 5 minutes. Every one of those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 11 things
11.
that had they gone the other direction, we're talking about a win right now.
And Mike, I'm going to add to that because a lot of that was coaching. So
all of it was coaching in my mind, except for the missed extra point. And that's on the GM for not having a better kicker.
Look, I understand our kicker missed that extra point, but Dable going for 2 when we were there at 19 or whatever.
19-0.
19-0. You would have
19-0. So you go up 20. There's not much of a difference between 20 and 21 because at that point you need 3 touchdowns to beat you. Yeah. There is a big difference between 19 and 20 because at 19 you don't need 3 touchdowns. You need 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
Yep.
So Dable going for the 2 actually screwed us from a math standpoint. And anyone who's going to stand behind this and go, well, this is game theory or whatever the fuck you want to call it. No, it's not because you want to get to 20. 20 is the magic number. So that happened. And that's why I look at all of these failings as being on coaching because when you're there with 6 minutes left or 5 minutes left or whatever it is, put aside the Dart interception. If Dart does not throw that ball, if we run the ball in that play, and then we punt it, we have a 100% chance of winning, which is what AWS said.
AWS said we had that anyway.
AWS has been out of function this week. It's they had a blowout or whatever, and yet we still would have won. I don't get it.
I need to go back to just again the decisions for Peyton to go for 2. Guys, this has been going on since the 2002 wild card loss to the San Francisco fucking 49ers when Jeff Garcia came back from 24 points down. I cannot fathom the 2-point conversion success rate against the New York Giants. It is unconscionable. You guys, I know Giants fans that pay attention that know. It is, I don't even sniff at the idea that we're going to stop at 2-point conversion. I'm already thinking in my head it's like automatic. And 2-point conversions are not automatic, but against us, they are.
Yeah, they absolutely are.
It doesn't make sense. 2-point convert. It doesn't. And it's right, Mike. I mean, we've been seeing this, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. That 0-2 wild card game for 23 years ago.
Yep.
It's still that's what it felt like. This game felt like that, where where the team needs 2-point convert. In this case, they didn't even need them. And telling you guys, even if one of those they don't convert, the Giants go on and probably win. They go on to win this game probably.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Any of them. Yep. And if you look at the decisions by both coaches in this game, so Dable chasing points, which we know is bad against a great defense, man, you got to take every point you can get. So we know that's bad, right? But if you're Sean Payton, you're playing another team who doesn't have an NFL kicker. Missing those 2s puts you back on level ground with the Giants. Use your advantage. Your advantage is you've got a kicker. But it doesn't matter when other teams do it, Cardone. It doesn't matter when other coaches do stupid shit because they get away with it.
They always get away with it, and it doesn't. If for some reason, I don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe the numbers won't show what I think to be true. As far as the 2-point conversion, against the Giants, but it just seems it in these instances where the game. These comeback games, the Giants, it's amazing how every single fucking one of these 2-point conversions succeeds against the New York Giants. I can't for the life of me even fathom or figure it out. Let me throw this out there before I forget. I'm sure you guys saw this. So another record, right? I mean, we just keep doing this every year in these types of losses. Broncos 33 fourth quarter points were the most points in the fourth quarter by any team that had been shut out in the first 3 quarters in NFL history. There it is.
And guys, getting 33 points in a quarter period requires a lot of fuck ups by the defense because how do you allow that to happen? There's so many, like we've talked about before, clock stoppages. There's so many things that keep a team from doing this. And yet they scored 33 points. 33.
Well, but it's not like you got a touchdown in the first second of the fourth quarter.
Right.
They only had 8 with 6 minutes left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Here's the
You know
other
what I
point,
mean? Like
Novak.
there's
Keep in mind, Novak. On top of that, the Giants scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. We still lost.
Yeah.
So
We
so
still
here's
managed to
here's the
lose.
thing too. I mean, put this into account, and this is where I say it's coaching. We have a first down at the 1 with 44 seconds left.
Yeah.
A first down at the 1 with a timeout in hand, and we run the ball immediately to score. Now, I know you need to score. You need to score to take the lead. But you can't fall forward, take a 6-inch gain or whatever, get back up, run the ball with like 30 seconds left and try and get another first down. I don't understand our thinking there where we and Dable was adamant about it. Dable wanted the touchdown right away, and when we did get the touchdown, they were reviewing it. He had called timeout. It's like, dude, you got 36 seconds left. Why are you doing this?
I'll disagree with you, Scott. I know the Giants. If the Giants take a knee there, they're going to fumble the snap on the next play.
I get that, Mike. I get it.
You gotta score. I mean, if they stop you, then that's just like gravy. That's like, oh, cool, they stopped us. But
I do get that, but
you can't intentionally, like, I saw someone today say take a knee, like come up
I
under
would
center
take
and
a
edge
knee.
forward and take a knee, and I'm just like, man,
would-
you just
But the thing is, you have a timeout. I would go forward, try to make 6 inches or whatever.
Yeah.
You have a timeout. That timeout is essential here. We
But
never
what happens-
really used
what
our
happens-
timeout.
What happens if you get a false start and you got to go back 5 yards?
Oh,
Right.
You guys
Novak,
would be ripping the shit out of the.
yeah. I just
Novak,
think intentionally.
I get that, guys. I get the argumentation against this. The problem is though that Dable was so adamant about taking that timeout and
Yeah,
making sure that we scored. He didn't even need to take a timeout if we did score.
No,
He
I'll
should
give
have
you
sat
that.
there. You know, I mean,
I'll give you that part of it. Like Dable didn't seem to understand the game situation there of how maybe being an in short wasn't really a bad thing.
Yeah.
I give you that.
No doubt.
But I don't agree with trying not to score on that play. And I know what you're saying. You're not saying take a knee or lose yards. You're saying push forward, but just kind of fall down when you cross the 1 yard line.
because we've seen defenses just like give you the touchdown. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No,
Like, they're
I would
letting you
definitely
score.
say, look, if the Red Sea opens and they are going to let you score, then maybe you think about taking a knee on the 1 inch line instead of scoring, if no one's there to molest you or anything. But if they're playing straight up defense, you just gotta try to score.
On top of that, you can't assume a missed extra point in that spot.
No, you can't. But you also can't assume that you have the kicker that you have, and that's
Yeah,
that again goes back
Yeah.
to roster management, whether that's on Dable or Shane. Guys, I know we're beating this to death. Let's talk a little bit about the Jets. Fields went 6+ quarters without getting to 100 yards passing. They finally put Tyrod in. Tyrod comes in, immediate deep throws. Now the Jets did lose this game, but Tyrod really he played okay, and you know what? I'll tell you what, the Panthers were ripe for the picking there.
It was look. Here's the actual stat. At halftime, he had 6 quarters of a net positive 10 yards in 6 quarters because of the sacks. That's what he had. And again, the week prior, what did Aaron Glenn say he wished he would have done differently? Would have tried a Hail Mary because why not take a shot? He had the same exact situation, and he sat on the ball again going into halftime. I mean, he doesn't learn. He's clueless. He's lost. I don't really have a lot of fervor like Cardone for the Jets anymore because they're so pathetic.
Yeah.
This is, without a doubt, and you know the history of this godforsaken franchise, this is the lowest point ever. Worse than Kotite. Because
That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot, man.
Absolutely it is, because in the Kotite era, they actually used to score a little bit because they had Neil O'Donnell and Boomer Esiason. There was somewhat of a hope, even though Kotite was such a pathetic coach. This is the actual low point. And it's not just coaching, it's the culture, it's the organization, it's the coaching, it's the staff. Like you guys, I got on Shane for Neighbors goes down, you have nobody else. We did the same thing. We have Garrett Wilson, we got a bunch of stiffs running around there. Johnson from sales, Cardone, right?
Johnson Rod.
guys, Reynolds, Johnson, Smith, like just where's Reynolds, Johnson, Smith, and Wilson? Well, I mean, where's Thomas and Brown? The most boring, pathetic, disgusting display of offensive football I have ever seen. Again.
They're hopeless, man. I mean, they just, I don't know a better word, Novak. I really don't. I watched a pretty good chunk, with the Giants being on at 4. I was watching multi-view at 1 o'clock, and I was watching a pretty good, I had a lot of games going, and I was doing my best to try to just hang in there and watch. And you know how we feel about Justin Fields on this pod, is that, again, it's not, obviously, you're not, but it is so disgusting and grotesque to watch that guy play quarterback that there's no words. There's just no words.
Nothing left. Right?
There's really not. And I don't want to. I have 2 pet peeves tonight. One of them is also about involves the Jets. So I want to kind of reserve that for later. But just I don't know what this. But to your point, Novak, I know exactly what you mean in terms of when you're just absolutely. We talk about being sawdust and vaporized and all that. The Jets, they're on another whole level in the league by themselves. They really are in a league by themselves of futility and just patheticness, right? I mean, it's just
they're the worst organization in all of sports. Forget the league. I mean, there's not a worse organization in the United States of America of professional sports.
You have me convinced now. I know you brought this up a week or 2 ago. Now I'm convinced. Wow, this team certainly can go 0-17. They really
absolutely
can.
100% they can.
Yeah.
And the biggest indictment of Fields to me was that they benched him. 2 plays later, they got Tyrod Taylor lofting the ball 40 yards down the field. What does that tell you what they think of Justin Fields? Yeah. He wouldn't have tried that if they had a gun to his head.
I just don't understand the reluctance.
Yeah. Yeah. And Novak, I'll say this. I mean, I think I like Aaron Glenn. But the problem with Aaron Glenn is you can't survive this kind of a record, and you can't survive playing Justin Fields when it's obvious you shouldn't,
You can't take over this organization after the Aaron Rodgers debacle. Look Aaron Rodgers in the face and say, we're going a different direction. Bring in Justin Fields and have any credibility. You can't.
No.
You just can't. Hall of Fame quarterback that you said, we're too good for you. We're moving on from you, even though I hate the dick. And then bring in Justin Fields. You can't. And that has everything you need to know about that coach and the GM and this organization right there.
The Justin Fields thing, I don't blame the Jets a lot for their attempt with Fields, because you could tell around the league that teams think they can win with him. If they didn't, he'd be out of the league by now. But I just think there's something funny about Justin Fields in particular, that us 4 can sit here and just know it's a disaster, and see professional football coaches like Aaron Glenn, to use Cardone's term, keep trotting him out there every week. And the reluctance to bench him. I mean, how is he not benched right now? I'm reading articles right now that, they're still looking at the tape. What the fuck tape? He has 10 net yards in 2 games.
I'd love to know what they saw in preseason, even to say, this guy's going to run our offense. We're going to be champions, baby. You know what I mean?
I'm looking at this Jets writer for SI. At this point in the year, the Jets need to make some sort of change, especially on offense. Justin Fields was signed in New York during the offseason with the hopes that he was the next franchise signal caller for the Jets. What the fuck made the New York Jets think that Justin Fields is a franchise quarterback? And why are they still writing that after week 7? The Jets are 0-7. It says, but his tenure with the team has been a disaster. Oh, who could have seen that coming? Give me a break.
His QBR, the last, I don't care if he played only 1 half yesterday, whatever, 11.5, and the week before, 8.2.
And his overall QBR is so low that almost brings up his average.
I mean, I am at the point, tanking to me says you're tanking for a player. There's really not a player that you really want to tank for just yet that I can. I mean, we'll get into it later. There's someone that I do want. I want them to go 0-17 to completely and utterly bottom out, because the only thing that is going to turn this around is to give the keys to the car to someone and pay them, millions upon millions of dollars. Like, I don't know, anybody, John Gruden, somebody with a backbone that can take over this organization. Because if we don't, it's going to be rinse repeat. Aaron Glenn's going to be out after next year. We're going to bring in another hot defensive coordinator to take this over, and he's going to suck too. And then another 2 years we'll be doing the same, and 2 years after that, and you can see how this goes. And I might not see a playoff run, let alone a Super Bowl, for the rest of my life.
God. I just think you give Tyrod Taylor the keys to the offense in a week to prepare.
Yes, get a win.
I think the team will win some games in that scenario, but bringing him in at halftime is not really fair. But you're right. I mean, when you see him come in and they start throwing the ball downfield all of a sudden, well, if they acknowledge that part of their problem is they're not throwing the ball down the field enough, and I submit to you guys that they're not even really calling different plays. Tyrod's taking shots. Fields is afraid to.
That is true. Although they did a double reverse when Tyrod was in there.
Yeah.
They didn't try that with Fields.
No, they know he's a knucklehead.
Exactly. And then he's looking at that stupid iPad on the sideline. Get out of here. Get out of my life, Fields.
Who's looking at an iPad, trying to figure out how he can get to 12 net yards. Yep. Give me a break with an iPad.
The tablet will fix everything. I love that when they go to the tablet.
They go to the
tablet. They ought to just set him up with a PlayStation and Madden over there. Just there. There you go, Justin.
Oh,
yeah.
Kyler Murray would do all that. So looking around the league, guys, Daniel Jones 6-1 right now.
Yeah,
it's quite amazing. Jaden Daniels got hurt, hamstring pull. By the way,
CJ Stroud 2.0.
It could be CJ Stroud 2.0. That's a good call. By the way, guys, we're recording on a Monday, and on a Monday I'm watching the Lions play. But by the way, there's 2 Monday night football games, and one of them is at 10 o'clock tonight. It's the Houston Texans and the Seattle Seahawks. And if you're the NFL, you're telling the Houston fans, who, by the way, are only an hour away from the Eastern timeline, fuck you. Because it's 8 o'clock for the Houston fans when that game starts. So that game's going to get over about midnight. Joe Flacco is the quarterback for the Bengals. He got a win. The Dolphins, by the way, are imploding. The Dolphins, I really don't know what's going to happen there. Mike McDaniel should probably be fired, but Tua and some of the things he said and some of the things former players have said about Tua, it's getting ugly there. Yeah. And one other thing I'll bring up, and this is sort of a sad thing, Doug Martin, who was the muscle hamster, running back, he died this week. And if you think about that Tampa Bay team, you now have him, Vincent Jackson, and Mike Williams, who are all dead before the age of 40. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, some stuff's coming out about that now, which I'm not going to get into here because I don't want to make any assumptions, but it's not good.
No. He got arrested in police custody in Oakland. So I don't know what happened there, but it can't be good.
Going back to your list of things, we, and you should, and should I, complain about our GMs and decisions that they've made. How in the hell are the Browns trading to inner division for a 5th-round draft choice for Joe Flacco? I mean, what are they doing?
Did they owe them a favor? I mean, what the hell?
These franchises that can't get out of their own way just can't see. First, by the way, did you see the stat? They showed it, I think, on Thursday night telecast. First time a division opponent has traded a starting quarterback since Craig Morton from Dallas to the New York Giants in 76 or some shit. Craig Morton. That was the last time. It doesn't happen. That's why it does make news. You're like, what? What are they doing? What the hell are the Cleveland Browns doing?
Not just that, but they're a game behind the Bengals. It's not like the Browns are 0-7 or they're not.
And it's not like they're getting a 2nd-round draft choice.
Yeah.
5th-round pick is maybe at best a special teamer.
Yeah.
So a special teamer in 26 is going to make up for all these wins that the Bengals are going to get.
I watched that Thursday night game, and let me tell you, Flacco, man, he obviously has a lot left in the tank. He looked great.
If you give Joe Flacco a weapon or two, he'll find them. He can throw guys open. He's not going to run. He's not going to win you a game necessarily, but he can find guys. He can get them open. It's one thing he can do.
Yep. But get Jamar Chase out there running around in front of him. He'll get him the ball,
Absolutely.
and he won't even be shy about it.
By the way, I mean that particular game. If you guys watch that game, it's amazing. And I watch games a lot of times just neutrally, right? Like Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. I really didn't give a shit who won that game, But as I'm watching that, you would think whoever the defensive coordinator is for the Pittsburgh Steelers, maybe you want to double team Jamar Chase at some point or do something to slow this guy down. It is amazing, guys. At this level, in this league, you got the best, in my opinion, better than Jefferson, best receiver in the league. Oh, yeah, and the guy's just running around, crossing patterns underneath the zone, wide open. He had, I think, 16 catches, 20 targets or something like that. It's insanity how these coaches and coordinators and game planners cannot figure this shit out. I know I'm not suggesting you're going to keep him to 2 catches, but he certainly shouldn't be burning you for 16.
No. The best tackle of that game was the Dick getting tackled by his own player.
Yeah.
That was my favorite play of the whole week.
And then the Dick coming up all pissed off. And
yep, I loved that. What an asshole.
So, any pet peeves, guys? I'm gonna go. I'll start with.
Are we jumping? Are we skipping over predictions?
Actually, let's do predictions. So we have the Giants, Eagles, and the Jets, Bengals.
Yep. All right. So here we go. From last week, I'll give you guys a quick update here. Is that Novak changed his picks off air, but we allowed it.
They allowed it. In my defense, I was trying to bring humor to the pod, and I was doing the. Trying to get it wrong on purpose with the tie. Yeah. I appreciate you guys giving me grace on that. So I did.
Yes.
I did text you picks on Friday or Saturday.
So we all picked Denver, and we all picked Carolina.
We look like geniuses by picking Denver, by the way.
Yeah. And we all Kansas City came through for Cardone and I, New England for Cost, and the Chiefs, not the Raiders, for Novak.
That's right.
So we all had a 4-0 this week. So. Novak goes to 16-12. Wait, no, I didn't update that yet. Sorry.
17-11, it sounds like.
20-8.
Oh, 20-8. Oh, even better.
Yep.
There you go.
20-8. Novak goes to 20-8. Mike and Scotty Cost remain tied at 21-7. And Cardone is 23-5, which is very, very impressive. I know that's something. All right. Impressive. So this week,
I guess I start then, right?
You're going to start, Cardone. You're going to start with either the Giants at the Eagles or the Jets at the Bengals are our two games.
This is easy. You can tell where I'm going to go with this because I'll start with the Giants and Philly. We're not sweeping this team, right? We beat them. We know what we did to them a couple Thursdays ago. That in itself, this demoralizing loss. I don't know how the Giants rise up in Philly. Because Philly's going to go on to they're going to go on a winning streak now. So I think the Giants keep it close just because I feel like the Giants can score some points now. Whatever. I just threw down a score without thinking that much about it. Just giving the Philly to win 27-20 Eagles. And then the Jets. I wanted to almost give them 0 points. Novak and crew here. Cincinnati rolls the Jets 30-10. And then my lock, this is the first time I've looked at this team. I've barely finally give me Indianapolis over Tennessee because
Indy.
This Indianapolis team, we talked a tiny bit about Daniels. They're just rolling, man. They're just rolling. I don't see them getting slowed down by the Tennessee Titans coming in with a classic AFC South matchup. So
that's right. We have another one.
Yeah. So I got Eagles, Bengals. Yeah, Eagles, Bengals, and my lock is Danny Dimes and the Colts.
Yep, kind of stole my thunder there on that pick. I obviously haven't picked that one yet, but
yep.
The Giants at Philly, I feel exactly the way Cardone does. I think we'll score some points. I think we'll hang around. I don't know about Philly going on a winning streak. I kind of think that they're, Hurts played wonderful this past weekend, but I still think that they've sort of got issues. Brown does not look happy. It doesn't matter if you're winning or losing. He does not. There's something up with him. Who knows? He's a nut job. But I've got the Giants keeping it close, but Philly winning 32-26. And you guys are going to have to give me some grace on this Jets pick. So I wrote down a score. And the winner of the game depends on who starts at quarterback for the New York Jets. I was hoping that we would know it by now. But I'm going to say if Tyrod Taylor starts the game, the Jets beat the Bengals 13-10.
Wow.
If Justin Fields starts the game, the Jets lose 13-10. Is that fair? You guys going to allow that? Are you going to make me
absolutely?
No,
going to make me lock in?
Yeah.
Hey,
No,
how can I say no?
And I also am taking Indy over the hapless Tennessee Titans. Good word.
It's a good
All
one.
right, Mr. Cost.
So, I really want to pick the Giants, and had they not blown last week, I think they beat the Eagles. This is a really tough game to come back from. The one thing we didn't mention when we were talking about everything before, I feel confident we have our franchise quarterback. What I don't feel confident about, and I actually feel less confident about, is that we don't have our coach. So we have our franchise quarterback and we don't have the coach that needs to be there. And that's why I think we're wasting Dart, we're wasting Scatabo, we're wasting Carter, we're wasting Burns, we're wasting Neighbors, whatever it is. I'm going to take the Eagles in this game. And it's only because I think the Giants have done about what they can, and yet we're held back because of coaching. So the Eagles are going to win this game 31-24. Jets Bengals, I'm similar to Mike. I mean, if Tyrod starts this game, I'm picking the Jets, but I don't think he is. I don't think that the coaching staff will do that. And I'm not really sure why. I'm not sure why they're beholden to Justin Fields. So I'm going with the Bengals 20-10. And it's my lock's Indy as well. I wrote that lock down early, so it was before you guys even said it.
Yeah, wasn't Tyrod Taylor in Dable's doghouse for a while? Wasn't there something going on with that?
Yeah, against that Bill game. Remember he made that mistake at the end of the half or something? There was he did some play.
Yeah,
and
the
then
Sunday night game or the Monday night game or something.
Yes. Something.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Did something. He didn't. I forget what it was. It was clock management, or he.
If you remember against that Bills game, though, the Giants should have won that if it wasn't for fucking Dable again.
Oh, that was another. That was another brutal loss.
I just remember that for some reason it was like Tyrod and Dable were like oil and water.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he's just not a good guy to coach. I wonder if he's in Aaron Glenn's doghouse because, who knows? Who knows? All right, Novak.
Yep. So I'm going to start with your Giants first. I think that this is going to be the best game of the weekend. And when I said last week, better temper that little act that you had after the game, the Eagles are coming after Dart in this game. And I'm not saying he's going to get hurt, but they are going to put some hits on that kid, even if it's late. I think it's going to get dirty. I think it's going to be chippy. But I really want to pick the Giants here, but I just can't because of what they did at the end of the game here. So I like the Eagles here 27-24 in a very dirty, angry, spirited game in that shithole Philadelphia. For the Jets, a couple of points of note. Sauce Gardner is in concussion protocol. Who the hell is going to cover Jamar Chase? So I think Tyrod Taylor will be the quarterback because if he doesn't play Tyrod Taylor, he's going to lose the locker room if he hasn't already. You got to play him, right? You can't put Justin Fields back out there. I believe that he will start Tyrod Taylor. That said, the Bengals defense is not very good. And with Tyrod Taylor, I think the Jets score a couple touchdowns. That said, I don't think they will be able to stop these guys. I got the Bengals 30-14. And then my lock of the week, I'm going a different direction. I'm going to a team that is slowly but surely becoming a team to look out for. And that, as much as I hate to say it, is the New England Patriots. And I like them over the Browns.
That was my second one.
I was looking at that game too.
I took the Patriots last week, so I couldn't take them. So, guys, pet peeves. I'll start because my first one's pretty innocuous. It's the illegal contact penalties. So these illegal contact penalties, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. There's really nothing. Illegal contact serves no purpose in the game to me. There's a period of time where you can't touch a receiver, but you could call defensive holding, you can call pass interference. The illegal contact there is only for a bailout. And it really only existed for one reason. It existed because Bill Belichick complained about the Indianapolis Colts defending his receivers years ago. And for me, it's not just the illegal contact, which I really think we should just legislate out of the league. It's that the penalties as a whole have gotten out of hand. I looked at the penalty statistics this past week. 7 teams. So 7 teams out of, I think it was 28 because there were teams on bye. 7 teams had double-digit accepted penalties against them. 7 teams had over 10 penalties against them. It's getting Mike talked about this last week. There's just penalties all over the place. It's getting out of hand. We can't have it.
It's definitely out of hand, and it's an epidemic, and it's not going anywhere, Scott. It's not. This is the league. Like I said a couple pods ago, where we talked. It's like watching a freaking NBA game at this point, where there's just a whistle. There's like a whistle every other play.
You don't want this as a fan.
No.
It's. I mean, opening kickoff whistle, holding, right? I mean, it's just like it's every game. Detroit scored tonight, right when I was coming up. Tampa Bay gets they kick off. Tampa Bay gets a nice return. Guy makes a great move, gets free on the edge. Flag. And then they show it. And, I just keep going back to Troy Aikman on these. Yes, it was a hold. Did it impact the run back? Probably not. I don't know. You never know. But I just hate it. They just need to. I mean, there's 2 ways to make it fair for everybody. Call every penalty you see, or call as few as possible and just call the obvious ones. Calling every one you see ruins the game. So that leaves us with one option. Stop with the flags.
Yeah, I think that's the way it has to go because, I mean, if you even look at the Giants-Broncos game, I don't think some of those penalties that the Giants benefited from were penalties, but they called them. And I'm thinking to myself, why are you calling these in this position? And same happened for the Broncos too. So, Mike, pet peeve?
Yeah, I have one that I wrote down that we kind of stepped on earlier, but I think it was pretty obvious we were going to step on it. But that is, I just want to say, my wife has figured this out. I got to say, my wife was awesome on Sunday evening. Do not, please, if any of my friends or people who text me regularly, do not text me after a Giants game, especially after a loss. I mean, I really don't like it after a win because we never talk football anyway. So, but just not after a loss, not after a tough loss. My friends who I talk football to, they know. You guys can text me. We're bitching about the game. I have a couple other friends who I know are big NFL fans who, we go back and forth at the end of the game, a good game or shit that sucked. I'm okay with that. But if I don't talk to you about football in my regular life, then just stop it. Like, don't do it. I don't need to be consoled. And Bonnie, back in the day, Bonnie used to be like, "Oh my God, honey, I'm so sorry. That was hit." She last night just didn't say a word.
Yeah.
Over the last 6 minutes of the game, just nothing. And and I got it, and I appreciated that. So I wanted to get that in a little bit more detail than what Cardone was talking about earlier. Like, yes, if we're football buddies, if you have a team that you like and you root for that team, and we talk about that when we see each other, for the most part, it's okay. But I don't need these consolation texts.
I need to ask this because I sat on the floor and Steph was on the couch behind me. Mike, you were watching the game. Chris, you were watching the game. Um, Steph basically let me go. She's like, I'm so sorry about this after the game, but I'm sitting there down by myself going nuts. I wanted that. I didn't want any distractions.
Yeah.
Same for you guys too.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
I go like a game like that, a loss like that. I shut down. I go into shutdown mode. Like I will vent usually like the next day, believe it or not. Like I told you guys before we came on, as soon as Dart threw the interception, I stormed out of the room. I went into the other room. I absolutely separated myself from the game. I'm in the kitchen, hadn't eaten anything. I'm eating Chinese food in the kitchen, sitting in there by myself while the game's going on. Because at that point, I'm so afraid and so fearful of losing the game, which I look at it this way. If the Giants go on to win, I will go back and rewind. People are thinking I'm nuts maybe for doing this, but I'll just go back, rewind it, and watch the game. And then I'll just I don't care knowing that if they won or not. At that point, I relinquish the anxiety because I can't handle it. You would think at this age and this stage of my life, it would be like I'd be better at this. I'm actually worse. I think I'm worse now than I've ever been in terms of like just watching the outcome. I can't do it anymore. So I actually left the room. Kit's in the other room, like watching the game. She didn't know what to do with me. She just didn't know. She's like, Chris, do you want, should I pause it? No, I'm good. Nope. Let me eat my egg roll. I'm good. Do you want to come in? You're on the 1 yard line. I'm like, what am I doing on the one? I said, like, shouldn't we be taking knees? What are we doing?
Why does it matter that I'm on the one?
Right. Why do I need to be on the one? Like, do I need to score? What's going on? I absolutely. So it's.
I get the complete opposite of all of you. I always get you're a 54-year-old man. Why do you still care about these losers?
There it is. And that
every time she's like, find somebody else or don't watch because all you do is get upset and angry. And you know what? She's right.
I was
be
drinking.
that as it may, Novak, but I don't know about you, but that's and again, I don't know nothing against your. That's the last thing I want to hear. Like in that situation, that is like you're not helping. That's not like you just. In that moment, I'll be fine, honey. Like, give me. Sometimes it goes in 20 minutes. Sometimes this one today, I talked to Greg earlier. Like again, it's therapy session today. This is therapy right now tonight. This one is easily a full 24 hours. I've had even the Dallas one. I was okay by that night, I think. And this one, I kept reliving it over today, but. I haven't even gotten to my pet peeve yet. So Scott, go ahead.
I know why you got into that, Cardone, because it's inexplicable. We should have by all rights math. We should have won. So
of course.
I was drinking beer out of bottles while I was watching that game last night, and I have never come closer to just grabbing bottles and start smashing them on the counter. Like I wanted to do that so bad. I had like this primal need to just start smashing bottles on the counter, and it was close, man. It was close.
Can I say this, guys? So after it's all said and done, the game's over. I do end up talking to Greg, and I have to share this story real quick, if you don't mind. I know we're still in the middle of pet peeves here, but this is classic, right? Because so Greg and I talk. Guys, I'm at the point. I've told you I've gone blind before temporarily. I've had vertigo. These are physical condition reactions to these losses. So last night I was having trouble breathing. I'm not kidding. I came upstairs. I was by myself. I was short of breath. So Greg, he storms out of his house. Doesn't tell his family where he went. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this story on the pod here. It's going to happen anyway, whether he wants to hear it or not. Yeah. This guy gets in his car, just drives out of his neighborhood with no destination, finds himself pulling into a fucking McDonald's parking lot at and was sat there for like an hour and a half. Ends up so his wife had made like stuffed peppers and a nice Sunday dinner. This guy's out down the road on Route 9 in New Jersey getting a fucking McDonald's quarter pounder because he hadn't eaten anything. He's somehow he's able to see enough to drive himself back home. His wife didn't even know where he was. She thought, like, where are you? She's texting him like, where are you? And he comes in eating McDonald's because he just had to just disappear for an hour. So, but this is like Greg said, like we him and I say all the time, that loss. What happens is like I don't watch the games last night. I don't listen to FAN today. I don't watch any of the everything stops. That's what I'm talking about when I'm trying to talk to like coworkers or friends and say my life just absolutely it just stopped today. That's what happens. If the Giants just hang on, if they could have won 32-30, it's like, who cares? You just win. I'd have been watching the game last night. I'd be looking, forward to the Philly game next week. I'd be listening to FAN today, getting a flip, and it just in an instant, it's just gone.
Yeah, that's what it is. I had a. Go ahead, Scott. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I don't want to like trample on this, Cardone, but the fact of the matter is, had we played it to the book, we would have won that.
Of course, that's awesome.
That's we were winning it.
Because that leads into my second part of my pet peeve.
Sorry, Mike. This is
okay.
This is good. I love it. This is good. Yeah.
But because I just wanted to mention this because I have to mention it this week after that game. This isn't one I can save, right? So I dare a fan to get around me sometime. Like if we're at Mulligan's and we're watching a Giants game and I hear one more fan say, "This team is playing not to lose." I'm going to punch you in the face.
Yeah, I hate that term too.
Because people think that is so smart when they say it. And you know what happens when teams play not to lose? Any clues? Any guesses? They don't fucking lose! It's a miracle. Yeah, everyone gets mad because we give up 2 touchdowns at the end of the game and only win by 11. And I had a bet on that. Fuck off. Coaches, NFL coaches, fans, please, more play not to lose. Please, in the fourth quarter, play not to lose.
Yeah.
If Brian Zabel played not to lose, we wouldn't have fucking lost. All right, that's it.
That's your pet peeve?
That's it.
It's a two-parter. It was a good one.
It was a two-parter.
Novak, pet peeve?
Yeah, so as I told you guys, I went to a bar yesterday with my brother-in-law. We watched all the 1 o'clock games. We had a great time. It was fun.
By the way, where were you?
Char Bar in Matthews.
Char Bar,
so,
all right.
Yep.
I know where that is.
So we're watching all the games, and everything's going well. And all these games are so incredibly boring. Like just bad football, right? Uh-oh. So that's not the pet peeve. So I watched part of the Giant game. It was a good game. It was fine, but all the other games not great. I leave for a little bit. I come back and I miss the end of the Giant game, and I flip on like ESPN, and then I flipped on the NBC. And these people come on, and this is where the gaslighting happens. All smiles. They come on. What a wild weekend in the NFL, or what a crazy weekend or a crazy Sunday in the NFL. And I'm thinking to myself, what's so crazy about this Sunday? Nothing was good.
Nothing.
The play was bad. Listen to these scores. 35-7, 31-0, 31-6, 31-13, 13-6 with the Jets, 26-14, 38-24, and yes, the Giants. Okay, fine. One game, 44-22. One game. What is so crazy and what is so wild about the NFL and what happened this weekend?
It's crazy.
Nothing. Nothing.
You're right, Mike. Don't gaslight me and tell me it was wild and be all smiles and happy and, oh, the NFL is so great. It sucks. The product sucks, and don't tell me that it's good, because if you watch any game other than the Giants and the Broncos, and that was an epic meltdown, it was not good. None of it was wild, and nothing was crazy.
No. And by the way, right now, just to add on, the current game is 24-9.
Exactly.
It fits right in with your list.
And by the way, we still have 9 minutes before the other game starts.
Perfect. But Yeah, I was looking at that box score. Yeah, 24-9. I'm like, I wonder if Detroit will I wonder if they'll blow that 15-point lead with 7 minutes left. Probably.
No,
I wonder.
Guys, I just want to point this out, by the way. The second game, but it includes Houston, who is in the Central Time Zone. So the Houston fans they literally are 8 o'clock is when the game's starting. So
I think
the
I've
NFL,
heard that, and that is a very true statement.
the NFL is saying, "Fuck you." It really
Yes,
is.
Houston.
Fuck you to Cleveland.
That is, yeah.
Wild. Is Houston going to play their starters tonight?
I don't know.
I already mentioned that. By the way, I'm not drunk tonight. So guys, we got a bunch.
Wait.
of
Let me do my last piece. My last piece.
Cardone, go ahead.
These are quick. Because I mentioned. I think I've said I was going to mention the Jets. Aaron Glenn is a pet peeve of mine tonight.
Yes,
and
bring it.
Not because of what his play calling or any of that fact. The fact that this arrogant asshole, and I know we all remember from last week after that Denver game, you overheard the reporter asking Aaron Glenn specifically, is Fields your QB1 next week? And he had the balls and the arrogance and the nerve to look that guy in the face and say, what kind of question is that? You know better than that.
Yep.
Well, Mr. Glenn, then how a week later at halftime are you pulling the same guy that you were mocking the reporter for asking that fucking question, and you have the nerve to sit there and where's your And I'm not big on apologies at all. I can't stand these apologies. You say something, you said it, whatever. Don't even bother apologizing. But the fact, Mr. Glenn, that you're making that statement to that reporter who asked a legitimate question about your shitty ass QB1, the guy was spot on with the question because it's a legitimate. And then the following one half of football later, the following week, you're pulling his ass out of the game. Go to hell, Mr. Glenn. Okay, so that's my first peeve.
Thank you.
These
I love
arrogant,
that, by the way.
Great one.
these arrogant coaches, and they're all these guys when reporters. Now you know me in social media or the sports media. I despise these guys most of the time. But when you have a legitimate question like that, he was asking it legitimately, and the coach bites the guy's head off. Screw you, man.
Yep.
And then my second one, I mentioned it maybe earlier. This could be any game. The way these games. So I was watching the Bengals Steelers Thursday night because I love watching the Dick lose or at least attempt. Hopefully he loses, and it panned out that way. So if you guys remember, he throws that 65-yard pass, whatever, to Freiermuth to take a 1-point lead with 2:21 left. 2:21. We all know. We just saw it with Denver yesterday. You only need fucking 33 seconds in this league to come back with no timeouts. Yep. The Pittsburgh Steelers sideline, the celebrating that they were doing with a 1-point lead, 2:21 left, jumping around like it's Christmas morning, and 10-year-old kids. I'm like, what are you doing? Rodgers was doing the same thing, hugging his lineman, doing this. I'm like, I go, when are these players going to learn? I just want to see these guys come off the field after a score there and be like, okay, man, let's go, D. Let's get a stop. Let's go. Nope. They're walking around like the game is over, the game is won. I'm sick and tired of seeing, this goes for almost every sport. I am sick to death of watching, particularly though, NFL sidelines, these guys whooping it up, jumping up and down like losers after taking a lead with any kind of time left. And how many times have we seen the other team come back down and kick the game-winning field goal, and then what? They look like idiots and losers. I'm just sick of it. But I was loving the fact that it was Rodgers. I have friends that like the Steelers, so it's not that. It's just how we feel about the Dick. And anytime that guy loses, that's awesome. So he was jumping, he was celebrating like a loser on the sidelines, and they end up 2 minutes later, field goal Bengals. Have a good night. See ya.
Totally agree. When are these guys going to learn?
They don't.
It's 30 seconds. Unless you're up 2 scores with 7 seconds left, don't be cheering.
Yeah. There has to be literally even in that. So Cincinnati, even after they kicked the field goal, still had to survive a Hail Mary from Rodgers.
Yes, exactly.
After that, it still wasn't over.
No.
With whatever time there was left, I think it was. I don't
He
even remember.
got it in the end zone.
He did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. So these games are never over, and these sidelines, they just don't learn. They just don't learn, man. They're jumping around like you said, a 2-score lead. The game's locked up. Tired of seeing it.
It's hard to imagine that when we grew up watching this game, if you scored to take the lead with 1:30 left, the game was generally over.
It used to be.
Yeah.
Didn't matter if the other team had timeouts. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
If you scored inside 2 minutes to take the lead, you probably won over 80%, maybe even more than that of the time.
Yep.
But guys, listen to this. I mean, just earlier tonight, we're asking Jackson Dart to take a knee while he's fucking losing.
Yeah, this is what it's come to.
Because you can't give the ball back to the other team. It's insanity what has happened in this league. It's really stupid.
Well, and I'm just watching the Monday Night Football game, and they're showing Baker Mayfield walking off the field, talking about how he wasn't able to do anything. But he's losing 24-9 with a minute left. What can he do? He can't do anything.
Can't do anything now.
No.
So, guys, we got some questions. We got Peacock asking Peacock Corner asking if it's crazy to think that the Giants and Cowboys in Week 16 is for the division. And I'll say this: look, we talked about this last week. It's crazy to think the Giants are going to be playing for a division anything this year, especially the way we lost against Dallas and the way we lost in Denver. Unless we get rid of our coaching, which I don't see it happening, we're done.
If he's talking about last place in the division, yeah, we will be playing for that. So
it could be a division for the Cowboys. I mean, they could be playing for the division against the Giants. I mean, it's possible that offense is really good.
That's true. Yeah, they could be.
I don't think it's possible. I kind of said last week, and it's all about not that we lost. It's how we lost, right? Obviously, because we all picked Denver, right? We all picked the Broncos, and I think when I picked them, I even said this is going to be a year like this, where we lose to the Saints, beat the Chargers, lose to the Saints, beat the Eagles, lose to the. It's just going to be a year like that because it's a rookie and quarterback, but it's the way you lose that game, and I just don't think there's through those ups and downs. I don't think we're going to find enough ups to be competing for a division at the end of the year. I think there's 2 or 3 more huge wins by this Giants team on this schedule. And I'm not even saying 2 or 3 more wins overall. I'm just saying there's like 2 or 3 big surprise wins on this schedule.
You're going to compete in every game.
Yeah.
And you didn't for years. I think you'll be in every game. I don't think you're going to get blown out unless Dart gets hurt, and then Dable obviously couldn't coach his way out of a paper bag if he gets hurt.
He'd quit.
So we also have a question about not having a capable kicker on the roster. Is that a Dable or Shane issue? And I really don't know. I will say this. We have Yingwei Koo on the roster. He was not activated. So I think Shane did his job. And I think this is another option where Dable just didn't have the right talent management. It's an organizational failure. That's what you're saying.
Dable has every right to say, don't give me an Irishman from Chowan University to actually win a game against the Broncos. You have the ability as coach to say, whether it's Shane's decision or not, I don't want this guy kicking for me. And we're actually still competing. We're 2-4.
Yeah. I had no idea Koo was on the roster.
No, Koo was on the roster.
Yeah.
Because I
didn't see it either.
I was making this a Shane problem. Well, but if Koo was on the roster, then Shane did his job.
Well, I think the thing is, if you play this kid, whatever he was from Rutgers, who's an international player, you can have a 53-man roster. If he doesn't play, you have to go to the 52 like everybody else. So you get the exemption for international. Guess what, guys? You get an extra special teamer. Oh, great. That's going to win you a game.
Yeah.
The other thing is, too, we could put the guy that's kicker on the exempt list, and then we can put Koo there. So it really doesn't matter too much.
Can I make one point about the roster for the Giants? Get rid of Russell Wilson. There's no point to have him on that roster. Winston has a great relationship with Dart. If Dart goes down, who do you want to see, Jameis Winston or Russell Wilson?
I know. a good
I
point, man.
agree.
Get rid of him.
Yeah. At this point, he's not going to see the field again, so why have him?
If he picks up a ball, the stadium is going to go nuts. Like,
Yeah.
get rid of him. He does
I did.
nothing.
I did. He picked up a ball and started throwing on Sunday, and I
Yeah.
was like, holy shit.
I know.
Oh, my God.
So true. Yeah.
So Peacock also asks, Novak,
Yep.
Rodgers as the Jets QB this year. How many wins?
6.
So
That's an interesting question.
I think we've seen 2 games where we would have won. We would have beaten the Panthers and we would have beaten the Broncos. And I think
you would have beat the Steelers.
we would have beaten the Steelers.
Yeah, if he was on that side of the field.
Fields.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think 6, maybe 7 wins if we had Rodgers, which is what I said earlier tonight. So
that's an indictment on the coaching too.
It's an indictment on the organization.
All of it.
Fields.
So my friend Mike asks, this is for you too. If the Jets pick number 1, who do you want?
I want Mendoza from Indiana, and I'll tell you quickly why. He is, and take this with all due respect, he is like an Eli Manning in an interview. He's a bore, and that's what the Jets need. They don't need flashy. They don't need, another Zach Wilson who's, hooking up with MILFs. They need like a boring guy who can win and complete passes. And I watched this kid, and they need talent, and he's got it. Like I've watched a couple of his games, and he's accurate. He's tall. He's like 6'5", stands in the pocket. He can run a little bit. He reminds me exactly of Jared Goff. It's exactly who he reminds me of. That's exactly the type of player they need. We don't need some nut job running around like trying to run for 25 yards. We just need competency. And so that's what I want.
He also asks, the Giants scoring 30-plus points. Do we really want that to be the Giants? Do we expect that? Or is there going to be a difference there? And I'll say this. Guys, the Giants scoring 30-plus points doesn't really matter to me. I mean, it's something that happened, but you can't expect this to happen all the time.
No, they're certainly not going to put up. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I sound like I was going to agree with you, Cardone. Please.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's exciting. Certainly that we have a guy under center and we have a offensive line that's obviously playing better than it has in years past. So I feel like we can score points. We're certainly not going to score 30 every week. I know we've done it actually 3 times this year in two weeks in a row. What's amazing though too? What's great about because the Giants, remember, they didn't break 30 for like fucking 10 years or some. I'm exaggerating obviously, but we've done it 3 times. 2 of them are losses. That's what I love. I just love the fact that we 37 against Dallas, that's a loss, and then 32 yesterday, and that's a loss. So yeah, if 30 doesn't obviously translate into an automatic win for the New York Giants. So yeah,
and I love this too because it's. If we had a month to train or a few months to train to kick an extra point at, elevation like we did at happened in Denver, could we? And I'll tell you this, if you give me a month to train, I can, but I shouldn't have to. It should be a guy's job who is already an NFL kicker to do that.
Yeah. You can't be on an NFL roster and miss 2 extra points in a game.
No. You should, and I don't really blame our personnel people. Why is our NFL for an exempt person the guy that's staying on the roster? He should be. He really should.
That's why I don't really blame him.
No,
he didn't hold anyone at gunpoint and say, put me on the roster.
No.
I don't know how he got there.
I'm going to blame him just to pile on, but yeah.
His longest NFL field goal is 39 yards.
Didn't he wear number 99 too?
99.
98.
Get out of here. A kicker wearing 99. Shut up and leave.
What's he doing out there?
Oh, God. It's just pathetic.
So, Mike asked one last question. This is more for our Mike Hisman. What's your most memorable Dead show or song?
Huh.
Grateful Dead.
Yeah. there. First of all, there's if you're a Dead fan, you know about Dick's Picks, which are it's a compilation, live show compilation, and Dick's Picks Volume 8 is from Harper College in Binghamton, New York, in May of 1970. I don't think it's a great show, but I just found it cool that it's from Binghamton. Well, Harper College, of course, is now SUNY Binghamton, so just changed the name. So I always like that one. I always get a kick out of listening to that one. But probably my favorite show it's San Bernardino, California, 1977, and it was the debut of Terrapin Station and Estimated Profit in the same show. I hear that one all the time on Grateful Dead radio. My favorite all-time Grateful Dead song is Althea.
Oh.
Awesome.
Novak?
Oh.
I actually was at the last Grateful Dead show at Giant Stadium before Jerry passed. It was June 19th, 1995. So that was by far my, I've been to 3 shows. That was the best, only because I can say that I was there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was a great show, and I'll never forget it.
I have no say you've been there moments.
And my favorite song is Fire on the Mountain.
Yes, good one.
I like that one.
You guys got anything else tonight?
I just hope the Jets win. I just want to say I want them to win, and if the Bengals decide to not play their starters, that would be very helpful to me. I'm just saying.
And I will say this. I really am ambivalent whether I want the Giants to win or not. I don't know if I do. So
yeah,
it's the Eagles. I want them. We want them to win.
You do.
Sweep the Eagles.
You do. Sweep the Eagles. Yeah.
And if the Giants can find a way to win that game, we will. This is like it never existed. And this week will just be. Who knows?
I don't see it.
No
way.
God,
I just don't. There's no way. No, we're asking way too much there. But
all right, fellas.
All right.
Love it.
Have a good one.
Have a good one, everybody.